WarsawBlondie here to talk to you about COD Ghosts. So recently in LA they had a little preview of the new COD Ghosts multiplayer. Yes! Alright, so COD Ghosts, you're probably like, why would I go to someone who didn't go to the LA to talk about this stuff? Well, this is kind of just talking about my point of view on it. Because I'm a different point of view than almost every other person, and sometimes I've seen a lot of point of views myself. It's interesting to hear, so let's get into it. In this video we're going to be talking about the changing of maps, the anyone can get a nuclear, the new rifle / sniping class, the new perk system, a creative soldier, the girl of course, Riley in particular, because all the other streaks, I don't know, they just don't stand out to me. I love Riley. Anyway, and the dual render technology. So let's get into it. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the changing of maps. And the changing of maps is like, alright, fine. You can get the nuclear and you can change the entire map. Plays out the same, but it changes slightly. But as soon as these things happen, it turns off and it's done. So, you know, you could have the very beginning the map completely change, or you can have it at the very end, or it cannot. The map couldn't even change at the first place. I also like the idea of how you can have new lines of sight, and I think that will be very interesting to see how that plays out. Along with, there's a gas station, I forget what the map is called, and it just falls down and it stays down for the entire game. So it's kind of cool to see how all these things are gonna play out, but really I want to see where they're going with it before I put in like a for sure opinion about the map changes. The new rifle / sniping class, called the marksman rifles. Sorry, I know it starts with an M and I can't pronounce it correctly. I don't know, I have problems with it. And so it's like a sniping like it's a rifle, but it's like a long distance. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. It kind of reminds me of the sniper, that, like, when you're using a sniper with iron sights. That's all it reminds me of. And he said once you get a kill, it pays off for you. And I'm like, well, I don't want just one kill. I want to go positive. So I'm just gonna have to continue with my, you know, rifles and so on and so forth. They're also bringing a whole bunch of other guns into it, but I kind of don't like that idea. I hate the idea of the marksman rifles, just for the fact that you're probably not going to get a kill with it. No matter what you do, you're probably not. But again, I haven't got my hands on it, so it might be able to get a kill, like a good amount of kills, go positive. I would love to see gameplay of someone going positive with it. The next thing we're going to talk about is the creative soldier, which includes the perk, the girl, and that's all my list. But anyway, creative soldiers. So instead of having like classes, you have a creative soldier, and the prestige, every time you prestige you get another soldier. So it makes sense, almost like every other Call of Duty classes. What makes it different? Oh, you can design your own character. Fine, creative people are going to get very creative and go nuts, so I'll probably be on that thing for an extremely long time, just going through that stuff, and so on and so forth. But the creative soldier is, I don't know if I like it or not. For the peer factor, you can have squads, and let's say you have 10, right? You can verse other people's squads, and you can verse them online, offline, whatever it is. You want to have a good creative soldier class. You don't want all of them to be snipers, you don't want all of them to be shotgunners, you don't want all these things. But that's normally how I am. Personally, for me, I'm always like, okay, 1 month I'm all msmc, and then the next month I'm all DSR. Like, it just depends for me. It's kind of how that works. So the fact that you get to like verse other squads, it's a really cool idea, but is it gonna be cool when your squad is losing a ton because you want a certain sniper to be a certain way and those bots don't play the way you play? It bothers me somewhat for that peer factor, but I can somewhat get over it slightly, maybe. But I think it'll be very interesting. Apparently they did improve the bots, and they'll go on prone and jump and lean and slide like every other person would. Personally, I don't go in prone and I jump though, so I don't know. Anything could happen, but until then, again, it could be anywhere. Personally, I'm like, okay, fine, I can deal with it. The squad's idea is pretty amazing idea. I do want to get my hands on that, but is it gonna pay off later on? Like, are we gonna get extremely annoyed when our squads are losing terribly because we have only one type of class? Nah, I don't know. So now to the perk system. Okay, so in Black Ops 2, the perk system, you get to choose any perk system you have and only counts as a point. But this perk system you have, like, I think he said 8 points, and you can move any of the point system ranging from 1 to 5. So it's kind of like, okay, I can choose this perk system and I can choose that perk, not perk system. I can choose that perk and I can choose that perk and I can choose that perk, but it's like 1, 1, 1. I master prestiged ghosts. This is an example on Black Ops 2. I use it in all of my classes and I don't do anything else with it other than that. But if I were to use Ghost, okay, great. That's 5 points up. Let's say Ghost is in that game. I really don't know. But that's 5 points off. Now I only got 3 left. That's only 2 perks. When in this game here, I could have like 4, 5, 6 perks and still have Ghost put in the mix of that. And it's kind of like, are you serious? I don't want that. I want to be able to use the high perks and the low perks without having to have this weird perk system going on. I think it's not advanced enough. Like, speaking of advanced, the scoreboards are being like unadvanced, and it kind of pushes me to the factor that, okay, why doesn't freaking Infinity Ward, Activision, and whoever created Black Ops 2, I don't really know, but all of those companies who create Call of Duty come together and make the best game possible, best board thing, best C4 stuff, best guns, and they don't nerf it or buff it. Like, once the game is out, please don't touch the guns. We are happy with it unless there's some really messed up thing. Like, why don't they just come together and do that? Because I feel like they're taking a step back in technology, which again leads to the perk system. Like, they're taking a step back when I want it to take a step forward. We don't all of a sudden improve technology by taking a step back. I'd like to point that out. But another thing is, in taking a step into technology, the Xbox One is coming out, so why aren't you improving your games to become part of the Xbox One, not just comparing it to the other Call of Duties that were all on the, the Xbox 360. I don't know if any of them were on the original Xbox. I didn't play then, but why why is it like this? Honestly, it bothers me so much. Like, just play the game properly. Like, make a good game. Like, I don't know, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, and maybe Call of Duty Ghosts, and we'll just mix all of those 3 games together, make it into a game, put the maps from MW2, the sniping from MW2, the some of the maps from Black Ops 2, color from Black Ops 2, the advanced maps from Black Ops 2, the create a squad from Ghosts, and maybe the character creation in Ghosts, and put that into a game, and I will be happy. That is my dream Call of Duty game, all put together into one. And I bet they could do it if they just kind of combined all the companies. But anyway, that was my little rant that happens sometimes. Talking about, like, the girl in the thing, I'm actually kind of happy that they're putting a girl in. It shows me that they actually know that we exist, and that we are playing their game, and it's not just us. But then I'm on the fence. Like, great, trolls are gonna be playing as girls. We have no choice but to see these trolls play as girls, and so on and so forth. In addition to that, the gameplay I have seen, all of them are girls, for the pure factor you have to be, just to show off that there's, oh my gosh, there's a girl. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sorry about the darkness part of this. I completely forgot about that. But so on and so forth. It bothers me. Like, there's trolls and so on and so forth, and you expect so much from me, and I'm just not happy of it. But anyway, that's the end of that. I love Riley, just saying. The dual rendering technology is going to be interesting in sniping, and that was literally my rant. Bye, guys.
Drop it.